Are they flickering, or are they just?
What are you talking about?
It is Halloween month.
what are you talking about,
so-
What?
It is Halloween month.
What are you talking about, Nancy?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm watching these
I'm
lights.
sure.
Grant, did you pay the electric bill?
Yeah.
True. True.
Oops.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of Gahanna City Council for October 4th and ask for the invocation and pledge by Mrs. McGregor.
Okay. Father God, we ask for your wisdom as we decide the issues of the city. We ask, as always, your protection on the men and women of our police and armed forces. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Angelo,
Here.
Bowers,
Here.
Lyric,
Here.
Leesburg,
Here.
McGregor,
Here.
Renner,
Here.
Schnetzer.
Here.
Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda this evening? None appearing. Hearing of visitors, I have 2 speaker slips this evening. And Ms. Hoffman, if you would approach the podium and give your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening, Council. My name is Brenda R. Hoffman. I live at 279 High Meadow Drive, Gahanna, Ohio. Most of you, or if not all of you, know me, and usually I'm griping about something, or making a suggestion, or pleading, or begging. I beg a lot. But I wanted you all to know that something wonderful happened today, despite a rather tenuous battle with Strasser. The corner that was not ADA compliant got ripped out this week, and they came back in at 7:30 this morning and put in forms which were once again wrong. And I contacted the administration, and the marvelous administration sent Jason Collins out, and he highlighted 5 issues, borrowed my rake, my hoe, my shovel, and did some digging himself, and even acknowledged to my husband that every point that I made was correct. So Strausser came back out to my house and continued the work and put the things in straight. I didn't put a tape on them because in some cases I could see that they exceeded the minimums. So I just wanted to say how freaking delighted I am that I just adore this city, even though, you know, I don't allow people to gripe unless they vote. I'm a firm believer in, if you didn't vote for whoever's up there, you don't get to say anything about them. I always vote. But it's also important that when we have people that do their job, and they do their job very well, we commend them, we thank them, we acknowledge them. That's part of employee retention. That saves us money. And it also makes everybody so much happier. And I know you all know I'm a better person when I have a smile on my face. So big shout out to the administration and to Grant and his crew and Jason Collins, of course. So thank you, thank you. And now I'm going to go home because I have to babysit for a neighbor. Everybody have a good evening.
Thank you.
I have something I have to say. It wouldn't be, if you're not here, you know, we just leave because you're always here.
I think I have the best.
You can come anytime. We'll have lunch next time.
Thank you. Be well.
Or coffee on Saturday. And I have another speaker slip. Mr. Petrick, if you would step to the podium and give your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening, Council. My name is John Petrick, and I live in Fleet Run Avenue here. And good evening, Chief. My complaint is with this parking on these streets. Okay, we just got a new street put in there, and already the people's parking in the streets. And I know that the chief here has sent people up there to make sure that you can get through, but I'll tell you, when everybody parks on that street, that big fire truck, and if it has to speed up there, would never make it. That parking on there is ridiculous. These people, they have room in their driveways. You got people that have their work trucks there, and then right at the corner, there's a gray van that is parked there for weeks and weeks at a time. There's a Jeep up at the other end that he lives right there, and he's parked there all the time. I always thought these were streets, not parking spots. And on Landover, right over here, that street, since I've been here, has never been swept in one complete swipe because there are people that live there, park their cars there, and you can't get the sweepers in there. Same as the snow removal. You know, it looks like a garbage dump coming up through there. And on Rocky Fork over here, that street, there's leaves there from last fall yet. And if we're paying for somebody to do the street cleaning, we're getting ripped off. And it's not their fault. There's a yellow Mustang. It's been sitting there for, I bet you, 8 months or more. Then right across the street is an old beat-up truck sitting right there. That doesn't look good to people coming in there. And I've been complaining about that how long? You know, and if you go in there and you want to just like mark a tire or something like that, they got wind of it. They'll move the car up like 6 inches. No, that's not good. If you have room in your driveway, you should have to park there. My property tax pays for snow removal and street cleaning, and it never gets done. And that's not right. And if that's the case that I'm paying these taxes for that, I want some money back on my property tax because the job is not getting done. And now, like I said, I know Rocky Fork. Those leaves were there from last fall. I know because I checked on it. They was there all from fall till now. Now the new batch is coming down. And again, they can't get in there to sweep it because the vehicles are parked there. Yet that apartment complex over there, they have spaces behind for those people. Why don't they use it? But they put a sign up there, I can't park in their place, but yet their people can park on my place. It's not right. And if you go through there, if there's 2 cars coming, somebody has to stop. You know, and if you try to go through, you're very close going through with touching mirrors almost. I don't like that. You know, I'm 77 years old, and I'm not saying I'm the best driver, but I'm not the worst either, and I get scared going through there sometimes. But like I said, and I know it's not the police officer's job to go and be a parking attendants and stuff like that. They've got more important things to do than watch this. But we have to stop that. And if you don't have, my suggestion would be, why don't you have some elderly person, hire him to do the job and go around the neighborhoods and watch this stuff. I mean, I can see cul-de-sacs and stuff like that. That's different. But now that they got the new school up there, Fleet Run Avenue is starting to be a lot of cars go up through there. But like I said, if you go there right now, when everybody gets off work, you're given one of these numbers going there. These people to park on the street are forcing me to break the law and park on the opposite, or drive on the opposite side of the street. I can't go to Havens Corners to park and drive on the left side. I'll get a ticket. But why are they forcing me to do it? But yet they're doing it. So I just wish somehow this has got to be handled. I've been complaining about it, and it seems like every time that police department sends somebody up, or there's nobody there. But if they catch them at the right time, they'll see that you're zigzagging going down through there. And then, like I said, people, why are they bringing their work trucks home? They can park it in their driveway. That's what they have driveways for. The street, as far as I'm concerned, is not a parking lot. And now that it's new, if you get any kind of substance coming from the car, it's going to drip on that pavement, and it's going to eat that pavement. Then in a couple of years, you're going to be repaving it again. So I'm just saying, I wish somebody would help us and, you know, and go around the neighborhood and get these cars and trucks and make them park in their driveway. That's all. Thank you very much for listening to me. And again, this is my first time, so give me a break here.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening.
Thank you.
1 second. And moving to item D, the consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Leesburg, seconded by Mr. Renner. Roll call?
Leesburg,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Bowers, yes, Lyric,
Yes.
McGregor,
Yes.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Angelou.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, ordinances for introduction and first reading. May I have someone introduce the items under item E?
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce the items, under E.
Thank you. And item F, ordinances for second reading and adoption. We have ordinance 0056, 2021, an ordinance authorizing supplemental appropriation to various accounts. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 0056, 2021?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Renner. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Renner, seconded by Ms. Bowers. Any discussion, please? Roll call?
Renner?
Yes.
Bowers? Yes. Leesburg?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
Schnetzer?
Yes.
Lyric?
Yes.
Angelou?
Yes.
Motion carries. Make sure, moved right along there, make sure we got everything. Passage E, F, and consent did quick work of our evening. Let's see, item G, correspondence and actions. Madam Clerk
I have nothing.
and council. And representatives, the Community Improvement Corporation. Mr. Leesburg.
Nothing this evening.
Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, Mrs. Angelou.
Thank you. Well, our executive committee is meeting this Thursday, and of course, the next Thursday is the commission meeting for October. I'd like to remind people that the moving forward together, the sustainability, will be October 15th from 8 to 4:30 at the Hilton, and we have a keynote speaker for that. I'd also like to say that I was able to go to the Columbus Metropolitan Club, Building Inclusive Communities, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful presentation. And I have some information here on it, but it was worth going and spending a couple hours to find that out. Find out all the things that were there. And the panel was really good. We had the president from Bexley City Council is one of them. Calvin Cooper, CEO and co-founder of Rove. He's also a Capital graduate, so I'd like to say that for sure, that everybody knows that he was the Capital graduate. I actually clapped my hands when I heard that. And then the director, Enrollment Management, Mount Carmel College of Nursing, Kim M. Campbell, was the PhD. Was the person who led it. And then we also had Richard Collenberg, who was a director of K-12 Equity and Senior Fellow, the Century Foundation. It was really worthwhile watching and living, and then we got some information here about livable communities for all ages. And in all, it was just a really good day to go to CMC. And I've been like to 3 of them now, and they've all been wonderful. And I got to get my picture taken with it, so it's even better for me. So anyway, it was a terrific meeting. Got to see lots of people that I hadn't seen for a while. So Curtis was there, and it's just really nice to see that. So other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you. And Convention and Visitors Bureau, Mr. Leesburg.
Yeah, thank you. The final numbers aren't yet in from the Creekside Blues and Jazz Fest, but it looks like we had about 8,500 people in attendance. Discussions are getting ready to take place regarding date and location for the 2022 Creekside Blues and Jazz Fest. There's a new visitor's guide that's ready for distribution. Copies are available at the Visitor Center, which is at 110 Mill Street if anybody would like one. And then there's a Creekside Pumpkin Crawl is back for the 2nd year. The event will be held on Wednesday, October 27th from 5 to 8 p.m. and it'll feature live entertainment, a trail of decorated pumpkins that you can vote on, restaurant specials, other activities. You can enter a decorated pumpkin to win prizes, and there's more information coming on social media.
Thank you. And Gahanna Jefferson School Board, Mr. Schnetzer.
Nothing for this evening, Mr. President. Thank you.
Sure. Official reports, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. As you know, I emailed council last night, and you may have seen it on the news. We had an unfortunate incident last evening at the extended stay hotel at the corner of Morrison and Waterbury, Morrison and Claycraft last night. And again, unfortunately, there was a shooting that was involved in that incident, and one of the suspects did not survive as a result of that shooting. It is still very early in that investigation. There's a lot of moving parts to that. Our Gahanna Division of Police is currently working with the Franklin County Coroner's Office to make a positive identification of the person who was a victim of that shooting last night, or I guess the suspect who was involved in that. It is a rather extensive scene. There's a lot of electronic evidence that has been recovered, and the investigation, again, is still ongoing. So we will continue to provide you with updates. The 911 call has been released. That was actually shown on the, I believe, noon News, Channel 6 had that as part of their broadcast. I suspect it'll probably be on this evening as well, but you can go online and see that. So again, continues to unfold and evolve. Commend our Gahanna Division of Police and our dispatcher for the way that she handled that call. Very, very cool and collected, and gave excellent direction. And our police was on site from pretty much 8:30 last night until, I don't know, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock today, or maybe later, right, Chief? They're still there. So it's certainly an active scene, and one that is requiring a lot of resources, but our Division of Police is doing a great job in handling that. I would like to actually thank you, Councilwoman Angelo, for referencing the Sustainability Summit coming up for Morpsey on the 15th. I had mentioned previously to Council throughout the past year and a half that one of my initiatives was to create a sustainability committee here in the city. We are moving forward with that. We have a resident who is volunteering and helping us and guiding us and assisting us in forming that committee for the community. We have an internal committee that is currently already formed. So they are working with this resident volunteer to identify what our next steps will be to engage the public. That will be coming soon. But we are all looking forward to attending the Sustainability Summit. And I'm very proud to say he actually left. Director Crawford will be a presenter at the Sustainability Summit. He's going to be a panelist, and he'll be talking about our cart tagging program that we recently did with Morpsey back in Swaco. I've got Morpsey on the brain. Sorry, Karen. With Swaco back in, I think it was like March, April, May. And that was the cart tagging program was one of the first programs that Swaco did. So Grant will be speaking about the success that Gahanna saw with that, how that really educated our residents on recycling initiatives and what is and was not recyclable. So look forward to hearing his presentation at that summit as well. Some of you may have seen on both the city Facebook page as well as the Gahanna Division of Police Facebook page, Officer Todd Huffman, whom I'm sure many of you know, received his Master SRO certification from the Ohio School Resource Officer Association. It is the highest level of certification that an officer can receive for an SRO role. And it is, in my mind, just one of the many ways that our Division of Police continues to strive to really follow best policing practices and the highest level of service that they can provide to our residents and our students here in the community. So we congratulate Officer Huffman. And while we're on the subject of our Division of Police, Coffee with a Cop will be held this Wednesday. It's going to be over at the Starbucks here at Kroger Marketplace in Hunters Ridge from Wednesday, October 6th from 9 to 11 a.m. I know, and they'll be looking to schedule another one yet before the end of the year at Starbucks up on North Hamilton Road, which is where I used to meet Chief all the time for a coffee because our schedules collided in the morning. We invite everyone to attend, stop by, grab a coffee, get to engage with our police officers, ask them questions, and talk with them. That's, again, this Wednesday, 9 to 11 at Kroger Marketplace. Tomorrow, early voting begins, and there is nothing to be lost by early voting. We encourage our residents to visit the Franklin County Board of Elections website for voting information. We have charter review amendments, as you all know, that are on the ballot. Those amendments and information on those have been uploaded to Gahanna.gov. They are on the council page under Charter Review Commission, as well as a news item. There's general election information on our website, and if you click on, if a resident were to go to that and click on that, all of the amendments are listed there, the proposed amendments. So we encourage people to look those up. Great Gahanna Goblin Trail is coming up October 21st and 22nd. I'm referencing that now because tickets are going like hotcakes. Friday night, I think, is almost sold out. It's maybe about 3/4 sold out. And Thursday night, I think, is probably about 65% sold out. So they are both getting their tickets are available on Gahanna.gov. It's $15 a car, and that was a great event last year. It's a drive-through event, suitable for all ages. If you did not get a chance to do it, even if you don't have kids, take some neighborhood kids and drive through. It's really a great event. And finally, just a couple of thank yous. Certainly this past weekend, Saturday night, was a great event for the Gahanna community. Our Gahanna Parks and Recreation Foundation and our Parks and Recreation Department had the return of Creekside Hops and Vines. It was a wonderful night, despite the rain that came just as we were about to open up the gates, but the rain came through and got out of the way. It was a perfect evening. I know I saw several of you down here volunteering, but we'd like to thank the businesses that participated in that, the foundation members for putting on that event, and hopefully that will prove to be a great success for the foundation as they support scholarships and programs for the community. And the week before that was the Mill Street Market. So I think, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I would also like to extend a big thank you to the Gahanna Historical Society. Lots of tremendously positive feedback about that event. It was an absolutely beautiful day. We had a city tent down there, engaged with a lot of residents from everything about the street program and sidewalk program and street trees and Parks and Recs programming and police. And it was just a lovely day. And I've heard many people say they thought that was the best one ever. So kudos to the Historical Society. You will see fall planters out around the plaza area at Creekside, thanks to our horticulturist, in partnership with Make Gahanna Yours. They've had volunteers out there changing over all the planters to be perfect for fall. And on the note of Make Gahanna Yours, I would be remiss if I did not specifically call out the members of that organization, Kate Mazurek, Donna Simmons, Jan Little, who were there week in and week out for about 17 weeks, every Sunday to present that market. I think their attendance ranged, I think, up to 600 some weekends. And I know Councilwoman McGregor's family was there. They were a vendor, had great success there too. But that is really, to commit to that type of event that takes 17 weeks to do is just a huge effort. And we really appreciate what they bring to the table in doing that for our community. So many, many thanks to them and kudos to them. And that is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Oh, nothing from the city attorney's office unless you guys have questions, and then I'll defer to.
We're
I'll
good.
say
Thank
Ray
you.
is recovering.
Ray is recovering.
He's working from home. He takes a step forward and half a step back, I think.
That's what he indicated.
Yes, but
Unfortunately, he cannot be in a car to be moved right now, and so, of course, though, if you do have questions, I can always forward those to him, and I'd be happy to help out in any way I can. And then we just pray and hope for his speedy recovery.
Indeed. Thank you. And council comment. Mrs. Angela.
Last Thursday, I was able to attend Marilyn Brown, had a reception honoring her and thanking her for her service for the past, I think it was 16 years or 14 years. Mr. Stephen was there as well, and it was wonderful to see her looking like Marilyn always does, perfect, and then being able to honor her. So that was really a very moving time. It was at the Museum of Art, and she has a beautiful, beautiful, very large art to put in a room, and then a beautiful vase that was made for her. And I actually was sitting next to the person who had made it. So it was really a beautiful opportunity to thank her for all that she has done. And the Hops and Vines was really fun. I was with the drink that everybody wanted to have. Once I tell them, if you drink just a sip, you'll be back. And they were, over and over and over again. And that was really fun as well. And so, things are, I think, coming back to normal. It felt normal to be there because after all the COVID things that have happened. And the very last thing I would want to say is that a week ago Friday, I was able to speak virtually, answering some questions from somebody that was with me concerning leadership and legacy and that sort of thing. And it was truly a moving thing to do, because when you look over your life in the paths that you take, you forget some of those things, and consequently, when you're having to speak to this type of thing, it just becomes very, very emotional, because you're going through these things that maybe you've forgotten, a few years ago, and my legacy here in terms of with Morpsey, goes back to 1981 when I was first elected. And I didn't go to Morpsey until my second time, missing that 8 months and then coming the second time and going there. And it has been just such a delight to be part of this organization that is a better organization than I think I could ever have imagined. And so this was such a wonderful feeling, and I came home. You know how you have a kind of just a good feeling because you've shared these very many memories. And I want to thank Morpsey for allowing, and William Murdoch especially, for having me do this. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bowers?
Yes, thank you. I have submitted my September report. Thank you to Crystal for uploading that to the agenda. I want to specifically make a couple points in complimenting. I think Brenda, Ms. Hoffman made some really great points that it's important to address folks when they're doing a really fantastic job. And one of those is Sergeant Utt from the Division of Police. I was aware that he was involved with investigating and working on a crime that occurred here in Gahanna, and the attorney that was working with him praised his thoroughness, his professionalism, how he really kind of took the next step to make sure that the victim was protected and that her dignity was preserved in a really very impactful way. So thank you to Chief Spence and to Sergeant Utt for the work that you guys are doing. I also want to, again, thank the Mayor's Office in conjunction with the Division of Police. I'm so happy to hear that Gahanna is again participating in Prescription Drug Take-Back Day on October 23rd. I know that more information on that will be forthcoming, so thank you, Mayor, for partnering with SWACO on that. And also, thanks again to the Mayor's Office for coordinating the posting of the charter review amendments. I appreciate that. I know I've gotten several questions. The communications team for making sure that got uploaded to the website in various forms. A welcome back to signatures. I know that they opened last month to the great happiness of many people. I've heard great reviews. And also, signatures is supporting live music, and I know that a lot of our performers have been affected by a lot of closures and lack of gathering. So thank you to signatures for hosting live music again and adding another venue of live music to the city. A whole bunch of dittos. Ditto to Make Gahanna Yours. I can't say enough about the incredible dedication that they have to both beautifying and developing community here in Gahanna. And I just appreciate what they do through the farmers market so much. And again, congrats to the Historical Society. The Mill Street Market was, I hate to say this, but maybe one of my favorite events in Gahanna in a really long time. The weather was absolutely perfect. The spirit in the community and the number of community members was just unsurpassed. And it was just a joy to be at. So congratulations to the Historical Society for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Leesburg?
Yeah, I wanted to congratulate Officer Huffman. I know when I've had interactions with him, he's always been great to deal with, and appreciate all the SROs. So that's all. That's it.
Mr. Renner?
Sort of going down the list, it's like, I want to just say, Mayor, thank you for everything you said, and council colleagues, thank you for everything you said. But a special great congratulations to Officer Hoffman for passing that, and I'm a big supporter, longtime supporter of the SRO program, and with especially having kids in Gahanna, it's really nice to know that we have that program inside of our schools, and I hope it's long-lived. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schnetzer?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. It's always a bit of a casualty of going, I guess, second to last or third from last here, as everybody says everything ahead of you. But anyway, I just want to say Big thanks to the Gahanna Parks and Rec Foundation, the Parks Department, the Division of Police, who was also present at the Hops and Vines. I thought it was a fantastic event. And to your point, Madam Mayor, once the rain cleared out, it was very, very comfortable. I know I saw many of my council colleagues, as well as the mayor, there volunteering as well. City staff that volunteered their time. Again, just a wonderful event. And, you know, I don't have to set it up and tear it down every year, but I wish it was more than once per year, to be honest with you. It's phenomenal. So anyway, that's it for me.
Thank you. Mrs. McGregor.
Well, there's been lots of good things going on in Gahanna. I told Jim 3 weekends in a row of events is like kind of wearing on everything. It's great that we've been able to have that, though. I want to thank the city for the help they gave us for the Mill Street Market, because we started back in the spring with planning it, and would we be able to have it, and so they really worked well with us. And is it Josh that works?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh took Zach's place, so he was a great help. And Carrie Hawk she really shepherded that, and just was so enthusiastic, and just, we had over 100 vendors, and so that was the most we've had for a long time, so it was a great day. And the weather didn't hurt. The other thing I would say was the Hops and Vines was great. I was actually doing other things at the bed and breakfast that night, but Jim had volunteered. They offered, the Historical Society manned all the exit gates, and Brian and Michael helped out for us man those gates, although Brian and his friends got pulled away because we had extras. But it was a great event, and it was nice to see so many people out enjoying the night. And Jim is taking total credit for the weather, because when it started to rain, he walked all the way back to his car to get his raincoat and came back, and he said it never rained anymore. So he's taking credit for the good weather.
That's what it takes sometimes.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a couple of items. I want to remind everyone that Coffee with Council is on Saturday, this is October 9th, at 9 a.m. That is Saturday morning, and it'll be at Lou Griffin Galleries on Mill Street. Anyone who has a casual opportunity to sit down with members of council and just have a conversation about whatever is important to you at that point in time. With regard to Hops and Vines, a wonderful evening. A little concerned early on with the rain as it kicked off, but it cleared, and it became just an outstanding evening. And it was just a fun opportunity to volunteer and give some time back to the Parks and Rec Foundation and the beneficiaries of the foundation. And then finally, the Mill Street Market. As proud as we are at the Gahanna Historical Society of it, I can't stress enough the miracle that Carrie Hawk has been in reinvigorating and remarketing and rebuilding the Mill Street Market. She has come along with an immense amount of enthusiasm, has taken a wonderful tradition and turned it into just a wonderful overarching event for the community, as well as a very significant fundraiser for the Historical Society. The Historical Society has a number of projects that we are very actively pursuing, and are very hopeful that there will be some additional activity going on with the Historical Society, and ideally we'll have some additional word on that here in the next few weeks. So with that, I will, let's see. We have no executive session, I don't believe, this evening. I don't think we have anything that we have a need to discuss. So I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Can I just say one other thing? You can if you're going to come to the Summit on Sustainability, do we have places open? We have a table for 10.
Yeah, I discussed that with Lori, and I think we've got it full now.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, because it's really fun to go to, and we can bring all the people together and get our pictures taken with everybody that's ever been in City Hall.
Could your husband go get a raincoat?
And with that, we will adjourn. Thank you.